Machiavelli Mills TV, what's going on, y'all? So I got a problem with individuals who are calling for the jobs of Chris Broussard and Jalen Rose and Chris Carter, all because they got predictions wrong, right? And they're saying my sources are telling me that Kawhi is 95% leaning towards the Lakers, or Jalen Rose, my sources are telling me 99% that Kawhi is leaning towards the Raptors. And look, listen, their job, they are prognosticators, right? So they are foretelling future events. They're saying, okay, we see him going there. That's their job, right? And in predictions, people are going to get things wrong. It happens all the time, right? But this is my thing. They're getting they're getting their stories, or they are getting these reports from individuals who are supposed to be close to these camps. And I think these individuals, these superstars, are intentionally sending the media off. Like, they sending them off on purpose and having them running in circles, telling each one different stories just so they can keep them guessing. And I know that these people are not just pulling this stuff out of thin air. They are talking to individuals who are supposedly close to these people, and I think they're intentionally feeding these reporters the wrong stories. I think they're really doing that because they don't want them to have, I guess, any knowledge of where they're going. They don't want anybody to leak where they're going for real, so they're going to tell them the wrong stories. And we all know that individuals, there are a lot of reporters, there are a lot of players who have a disdain towards the media. They really do. A lot of NBA players don't like media, for real. So look, I'm going to tell y'all the wrong story because I don't fool with y'all anyway. Y'all going to say what y'all want to say. Okay, look, we're going to just tell y'all the wrong stories so y'all can go on TV and be absolutely wrong, and we can sit back and laugh, and you can have everybody at the edge of their seats talking about it all day long. And I think that's really what happened. And you can't fault individuals because, like, I don't think Chris Broussard intentionally got the wrong information. I don't think he made up the information that he was hearing. I believe he really talked to people that he deemed as valid sources. And I think they were valid sources, but those sources were told by Kawhi, look, spin them in the wrong direction. Spin them in the wrong direction, tell them some lies so I can go about my business and they can just keep on running in circles like a chicken with their head cut off. Like, I think that's the same thing that happened with Jalen Rose. I think that's the same thing that happened with Chris Carter. They trusted these sources that were supposedly close to Kawhi, and they believed them. And it's like, nah, Kawhi was like, okay, look, I'm going to tell y'all what y'all want to hear. I'm going to tell y'all something else that's completely false so y'all can look crazy. Because I don't really want it leaked out anyway. I'm a private person. I want to say it on my time. But for y'all's sake, y'all want to report it. Y'all want to report things so bad. I'm going to just tell y'all false information. And I don't think you can call for somebody to get fired because they got things wrong. There are a lot of people in sports journalism. They get things wrong all the time. Nobody is always 100% correct. But I think they were trusting the sources that were closely related to the player. And what happened was that they found out that they were getting spent in the wrong direction. Seriously, they were getting spent in the wrong direction. They trusted those sources because these people are close to that superstar, Kawhi. And unfortunately, Kawhi went to the Clippers as least expected. And that's what Kawhi is known to do. He does the things that are least expected. He's not going to have, Kawhi is really not the type to tell or leak out where he's going for real. So they trusted the sources and they were wrong. But to call for them to get fired? Like, really? Seriously? As much good journalism as Chris Broussard does? Come on, man. It's really good. Like, again, maybe I'm biased because I was, in the media field when I was in college. And I understand how the media field works. But some of y'all be going too far, too extreme. Fire him because he got this wrong. Fire him because he made the wrong prediction. Fire him. They look, I'm 99% sure because these are the sources that are close to Kawhi. Kawhi's sources was feeding them the wrong information on purpose. Look, we telling them anything. Look, he's going to sign with Toronto again. He's going to go to the Lakers, you guys. The Clippers, Kawhi, the Lakers are in control. They are in the lead for Kawhi's free agency. The Lakers have Kawhi to lose. The Lakers have Kawhi to lose, not even bringing up the Clippers. And Kawhi knew where he was going the whole time, especially if they could secure another superstar to come along with him. He knew where he was going. And it possibly could have changed at the last minute because I can't even just say that Kawhi's sources were spinning him in the wrong direction. It could have just been at the very last minute. The Clippers were able to pull off getting Paul George to come over there with him, a known superstar who performed well. So you can't get mad and say, okay, That happened at the very last minute. And Kawhi was like, okay, look, I'm going to go to the Clippers because we got a young gun that's for sure going to help me ball out. Along with Lou Will, along with Pat Beverly, we all can play defense. I'm going to go to that young team right there. And it could have happened at the last minute. He could have very well been leaning to the Lakers. He could have very well been leaning towards signing to the Toronto Raptors if they could have landed Paul George. Like, if Toronto could have landed Paul George, he possibly could have stayed. And there possibly was talks about trying to get Paul George to Toronto. It possibly was talks about that. But to act like, okay, they got it wrong, that decision could have been made at the very last minute when the Clippers were able to pull off that trade for Paul George. It could have happened at the very, very last minute. So you can't fault these reporters for what you deem as, oh, they doing bad reporting, because they didn't get things right all the time. They don't get things right all the time. Humans make mistakes. Humans are known, we're going to have errors. It happens all the time. But to act like they're supposed to lose their job and y'all calling for them, off with their head, fire him immediately. Y'all sound absolutely ridiculous. Because when you get things wrong at your job, when you like, or like, okay, look, it's sometimes that, now, okay, you make a huge mess up, you're gone. But when it's times where you mess up or you like, okay, I kind of got that wrong, you don't want nobody to fire you all of a sudden. Like, no. Like, nah, man. The media feel that their job is to deal with predictions. They're not going to get everything right all the time. And they're TV journalists. Their job is to entertain. So as long as they're entertaining the public, like Stephen A. Smith, like Chris Broussard, they're going to keep a job at all times. They're entertaining the public. They're doing their job. They're entertaining you all on TV, on First Things First, on FS1 Undisputed, on ESPN First Take, on whatever show they could possibly be on their radio shows and all of that. They're entertaining you. They're only going to be fired when they're not entertaining. Not if they have the most, not they have to get everything correct all the time. It's not how it works. So let's stop with the shenanigans calling for reporters to get fired all the time. Cut it out. Unless they're being completely, they're not objective and they're always biased. Like not biased like where they say good things about LeBron sometimes and stuff like that. No, seriously biased where it's completely like out of line. Because some of y'all can't differentiate being biased and just not hating on the player. It's two different things. But unless they're completely biased or they're disrespectful or they're not professional in their work, they don't need to be fired at all. Relax. Machiavelli Mills TV. Peace.